The Eucharist. The Eucharist is God's whole understanding of his bond with human beings, because the Eucharist is very deeply bound to a mystery which involves the whole of existence and the whole of life. God wished to show human beings that he is the God of love. He is the God who loves so deeply that anything which is lacking love is not of him. He belongs to love. He belongs to everyone and everything. He belongs to existence, and he wished to show people that they belong with him in a bond which allows them to be so fully with him that they can drink in his love, drink in this beautiful, powerful love energy, and bind themselves to him in a very real and concrete way. And so Jesus came into the world to prove that he, as God, was so closely bound to man that he actually became man, and he offered his whole being to this understanding of the fact that he is God, is able to love people so deeply that he has actually allowed them to be. Without love, without God's love, people would not exist. And Jesus came into the world to show that love is so powerful that it can actually obliterate evil in a very real way. He died to prove this. He rose again from the dead to prove this. He wished to prove this in such a strong way that finally those people who were able to love would realize that love is reality. Love is so powerful that it can overcome every evil that exists. Jesus wished to let people understand that he is God and he is man, was proving this by his act on the cross, by his resurrection, by his promise to return, so that people would be offered a power which would allow them to finally lift themselves into a new understanding of life, which would be able to restore life to dignity and a perfection which is its meaning. The Eucharist is the whole understanding of this, because before he died, Jesus asked people to unite with him in a bond if they believe in his power to finally restore the world with love. And the Eucharist is a way in which people can unite with him to show him that they believe this. And in order to really show him that they believe this, they have to act out a way of living which shows this love in a real way, in a true way, in a concrete and active way, in a way which is not based on illusion or fantasy, in a way which is very deep, in a way which is painful, because in order to love, people have to dig very deeply into illusion and all the unpleasantness of illusion in the world, because the world is full of illusion in its materialistic misunderstanding of itself. And in order to love truly, people have to get beyond this materialism. They have to acknowledge its meaninglessness, and they have to move themselves in a way which is real and beautiful and simple and true and loving, and live their life in this way, live in this true way, which Jesus explains to be the only way, his way, the way of love, the way of life, the way which will finally reveal itself as a way of such beauty and truth, such power, such splendor, that it will be offered to those who can see it as a final redemptive gift which Jesus is offering to them, so that they can be with him in a bond of love, which is his Eucharistic bond of love, to let people move themselves constantly into a new sphere which is so full of love, so full of light, so full of the spirit of life, God's spirit, Jesus' spirit, the whole spirit of existence moving in a beautiful, colorful splendor, which will be that final understanding of life for those people who can love, for those people who can live a life which is full of love and unite with God in this bond of love to prove that they believe in